Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Quarter Life Chit Chat. It is me, your favorite host, Nav Walia, and yes, I know that I was MIA once again, but in my defense, I was very busy doing very important things, some life-changing things, and also some absolutely meaningless things. But hey, that's what they call balance, right? You know, spring is here, the sun is staying past till 4 a.m., and I cannot explain how much of a shock it is when I say this, but somehow, and for some reason, my soul feels rejuvenated. I don't know what's that about. You see, I fucking hate sun. I think I've said it multiple times on the show. I despise the sun, but I don't know what it is with the recent sunny days and it being still bright out after 4 p.m. It's kind of filled me with a lot of motivation and a lot of excitement and some much needed dopamine. And during the time that I'm recording this episode, it is cloudy outside, and again, this is probably going to be contrary opinion, but I love me some overcast days, okay? Rain sucks, which is really weird because I live in Victoria and all it does is rain literally 11 months of the year. But I hate the rain. It sucks. It smells fucking terrible after it rains and while it rains. And 3, who the fuck wants to get out of their house and immediately get wet by like the fucking angels from the sky crying all over you? Ain't nobody wants that. So rain sucks, but the days where it's like cloudy and it's windy, my God, I don't know what it is. Maybe, I have some screws loose in my mind, or maybe I'm just born with a depressed, dark soul. But the overcast days and the windy days just speak to me. And literally as I'm recording this, about 10 minutes ago, the clouds came in and the sky is, that hazily grayish blue, and it is just breathtaking. Now, I know what you might be wondering. Nav, where the hell have you been? And why are you keep going on about the day? Well, here's the thing. I have been up to a bunch of shit. Some of which are just working in general, making money, working out. Yeah, you heard that right. Working out. Who knew my lazy fat ass is gonna get off the couch and go hit the gym? Shit, I didn't see that coming. Okay? This is like, the time where you ask your crush out and instead of her immediately saying, ew, disgusting, no, she actually says, yeah, I can go get a cup of coffee with you. You know that rare event in all you guys' lives? Yeah, that's what it feels like to me every single time I've hit the gym in the past 2-3 weeks. Not even lying right now. I am literally shocked that I have been consistently going to the gym. It's actually mind-bending to me. And along with working out, the next activity I've been pouring my blood, soul, tears, time, and just prayers into, that's right, prayers into, is achieving the ultimate goal I always had. Now you might be wondering, Nav, did you get into med school? Is it med related? No. It's actually becoming a farmer. You heard that right. I have been a farmer for the past 2 weeks. That's right. I have officially achieved my goal of becoming a farmer. And I'm going to talk all about that. So without further ado, let's get this show going and let's catch up, shall we? First things first, where I have been and where did I disappear to? Well, those times where you tell yourself, damn, I'm really burnt out, or I'm just really exhausted and I just need a tiny little break. And the next thing you know, the break has lasted weeks. Yeah, that's been my life for the past months. To start off, I have had a lot of personal things, relationship-wise, happening in my life since, I'm gonna say, probably about November, even earlier to be honest, but I've been dealing with a lot of personal things, which has completely gassed me out for the past few months. I was gonna record this episode today, it just dawned upon me, it's March 31st. I couldn't tell you where the past 3 months have gone by because of how much bullshit I was dealing with just day in, day out. And the weeks that I wasn't dealing with shit, I was dealing with bombs that were blowing up in my life. So that's where most of my emotional energy has been invested to. And, as I said on a couple episodes back, I was just really emotionally gassed out. So taking a time and just just coasting by was very, very lovely. It did rejuvenate me. And most importantly, I cannot believe I'm saying this after basically creating an episode where I talk shit about people that make resolutions about working out. I am just gonna be honest. Working out and exercising has been so fucking amazing for me. Who would have known that exercise is able to reduce stress? Shit, I didn't. And in my defense, I never really had stress in my life. I had things that pissed me off or things that just made me gassed out. But stress was even till this day, stress a bit of a hard one in my life. So the fact that I was going through a stressful time and I started working out, and every single day after gym, I would come home and become relaxed and have sleep like a baby. That has basically been the biggest revelation of my life so far. I shit you not. It's been a fucking game changer. Which is why I'm sure you can tell from this episode, while I'm making this, my voice has some energy and some depth as compared to the previous one. Like, I was listening to episode, I believe, 28 yesterday, or maybe 27, and I'm not gonna lie, I sound like somebody gave me a lobotomy and then made me smoke a kilogram of weed with Snoop Dogg. I sound fucking brain dead. So I just want to apologize if the past episodes have been not very entertaining. But in my defense, your homie was going through some shit, and I was genuinely gassed the fuck out. But going back to working out, you know how like a couple episodes ago, I told you all a story where I went to a gym and there was this guy just like doing like 20 reps of like just deadlifts, and he was like grunting and snarling, and I went up to the guy and I was like, hey man, like you're working pretty hard, like what are you listening to? Must be a great album. And he said, nothing bro, I'm thinking of my ex. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, she cheated on me. I'm thinking about the pain she caused me as a way to work out. And at that time, I remember talking to the dude and I was like, this guy is fucking bonkers. And I'm not joking, still to this day, as I've said in the previous episode, he literally looked like a werewolf in fucking transition, okay? There was literally frothy saliva coming out of his mouth. That's how much this guy was like growling and grunting while working out. But at that time, when he told me that he was thinking of the pain from his relationship as motivation to work out, I thought the guy was out of his fucking mind. Like, I'm not joking. I thought he was psychotic. Until I was that guy. So when I was working out, as I said, I've been dealing with basically a lot of op shit in my life. And a lot of people in my life have pissed me off and done me wrong recently. When I was working out, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just the way a guy's brain is, wired. Or maybe you just hate yourself. But I would go to the gym and I would start lifting weights, and all of a sudden I would start thinking of all the fights I've had in the past, 2-3 months, and all the shit people have done me wrong in the past couple months. And I'm not joking, you become so energized and ecstatic, and my God, you start working out like there's no tomorrow. I'm not joking. I would go to the gym, my mind would start thinking of all the ways my friend pissed me off, and next thing you know, I am out benching the guy beside me who's basically on fucking roids. I mean, I wasn't actually out benching him, but trust me, I felt like I could choke an elephant out with my bare hands. That's how I felt. So I guess the two things I've learned about gym and exercising is, one, exercise reduces your stress, and B, emotional pain is the greatest pre-workout of your life. So if you're wanting to get into gym, take my advice. All you need to do is have your friends do you wrong, piss you off, cause you some pain, and then you start working out. And within no time, you'll feel as ecstatic as I do. And lo and behold, because you're working out, you have an outlet for all your energy. And the next thing you know, you have somehow processed the pain. It's fucking magical. Who needs therapy when you have the gym? I'm not joking. I did not expect to hop on this episode and basically sound like a gym bro. What the fuck? I literally sound like the most stereotypical gym bro that is like, yeah, man, I don't need no therapy. I just pump iron and I feel better. But it's fucking psychotic because I literally feel amazing after pumping iron and thinking of the pain that I had to deal with. So I guess the gym bros are onto something. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I think we all should be like gym bros. Contrary opinion, I've come around. But to wrap up this notion about gym, I am not gonna lie. Gym is also the perfect place for an absolute and an amazing cornucopia of fucking memes. Okay, the amount of gym stereotypes I have run into in the past like month is mental, and I will be doing an episode on that. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, but now on to the next thing. Work. In the past month, I've been working a ton. I am basically putting in about 35 to an extent 55 hours of work per week. And here's the thing, lads. That's an accomplishment for me. Okay, my friend Taylor, probably listening to this episode, he is shocked as fuck. And most of you listening to this episode are going to be like, dude, it's not that impressive. You're working full time. I don't think I can explain it in any way possible where it'll make sense. But I believe the last time I worked more than 30 hours in a week was, I believe, 2017. I have not worked a full-time shift in like probably a very long time. That's a terrible sentence. I just want to say, linguistically, that was the worst sentence ever. But again, I am an immigrant. English is my third language. Don't fucking judge me. But I have been working a ton in the past month. And you might be wondering, damn, Nav, you're working a lot. You must be under a lot of debt. Actually, I'm not. I'm literally not under any debt. The reason I've been working a ton is A, because I actually like my job. And B, I got stocks to buy, boys. You know, Trump has decided to basically shoot down the whole economy of Canada and America. And basically, big boy stocks are real cheap. That's why I've been gravy boating all my money into TFSA so I can buy some prime blue chip stocks and make $1 to $2 off them and feel like the next brown version of Jordan Belfort. But, you know, even though I'm trying to be the next Jordan Belfort, I have actually also been working on a very, very personal and small project that I've mentioned a couple times on the show. And I can finally declare that I have officially started, or I should say 90% completed, a nonprofit initiative. That's right. Your boy who loves profits has decided to do something that is nonprofit. I basically have almost finished completing a nonprofit organization, and I can't wait to discuss it on this show in the future episode. So stay tuned for that. Now you might be wondering, damn Nav, you know, you've been working out, you've been working like a normal person with a normal schedule. And by the way, I haven't even mentioned this yet, but you know how I told y'all I go to sleep at like 6 a.m., 5 a.m., 4 a.m.? Yeah, I just want to say that era is behind me. Your boy has started going to bed at an earlier time, like a normal person. That's right. I now go to bed at 2 a.m. instead of 4 a.m., and I wake up at 10 a.m., and then I proceed to watch YouTube for the next 3 hours. But the point is that I have fixed my sleep schedule a bit. I know I could be more productive right after waking up, but that's a long ways down. Don't fucking judge me. Baby steps, all right? But, you know, I understand your confusion. Like, damn, Nav's been working out, fixing his sleep schedule, dealing with ops in his life, and creating a non-profit organization. Our boy has become really productive from the lazy sack of shit he was. And I just want to say, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I've also still have managed to waste a lot of my hours on a new addiction. I have finally accomplished my fucking goal of being a farmer. Okay, I always knew that deep down inside of me, there was a farmer who's just pumping and waiting to come out. That sounds so wrong. But the point is, I always wanted to be a farmer, and I have finally accomplished that. And no, my job that I've been working for the past month is not being a farmer. I am talking about me being addicted to a farming video game. Now, I don't know how to explain this. I was casually on Instagram. I got presented an ad that there was a game called Stardew Valley that's like on like 60% off. And I was like, that looks interesting. I always liked playing Farmville when I was like 6 growing up in India. So why don't I try out Stardew Valley? And my God, let me tell you, I am addicted. I've played that game for 4.5 hours, and all I've done is grow vegetables, build a barn so I can buy some cows and sheeps, sell a bunch of my produce for very, very large profit to a broke single mom in my farm town in the game. I am not joking. The amount of produce I have sold to this single mom character in the goddamn game, it's a hate crime. I have single-handedly am making this woman go broke. But my God, am I addicted. There's just something so relaxing about this game. And all you do, the seasons in the game change, which means you can plant different items, different fruits, different vegetables. You can go exploring for mining, so you can get some iron, some copper. You can upgrade your things. Basically, the point I'm trying to say is I think I got a problem on my hands. I am way too addicted, and I'm having so much fun. And in a very, very long time, I think I've found a game and I've found a relaxing hobby. And that is amazing for me. Whenever I'm trying to relax, I always think in the back of my mind, damn, I'm wasting time. I should be doing something else. I should be being more productive. And my mind is always racing and thinking of the next step. Those who know me that are listening to this episode, like some friends of mine, that I am always thinking about the future. I'm almost never in the present. But playing this game has allowed my nerves to calm down, and I'm able to be in the present. I know how dumb it sounds, saying damn, bro, you really found a game and you're just having this euphoric, philosophical fucking moment by planting green beans. And yes, right before I recorded this episode, I did plant some green beans on my farm in the game. But no, the point I'm trying to make is that it's nice to relax, and it's nice to just be in the present and enjoy what it is you're doing in that moment. And considering the last few months have been really emotionally turmoil in my life, it's very nice to allow my mind to calm down and relax. And I just want to say, if you've never played Stardew Valley, you need to get into it. It's this amazing, cozy game where you fish, you plant crops, you make friends, and you even get to be married. And I just want to say, on the farm, there's a bunch of people that live, and in the game, as the story progresses, you get to become friends with one of the many characters and eventually marry them. So, let me just say something here, boys. I think your boy, even though it's going to be virtually, will be getting a girlfriend this year. Yeah, you heard it right. I will not be single this year. Even though it's in a video game, I won't be single, and I just realized how much of a dork I sound by saying that. But do give that game a shot. And that brings me to sort of the end of this episode. I wanted to make an episode about catching up and where I've been. And I just want to say everything I've talked about on this episode isn't even the end of what I've been up to. I have been appreciating nature again and taking a lot of pics on my walks. I've been going on walks again. I've been fucking reading like there's no tomorrow. And I haven't even talked about my newfound love that is audiobooks. My God, how have I managed to live on this planet for 26 years and never learned how amazing audiobooks are? It's mind-bending. And a part of me wants to make an episode in the future talking about the books I've been reading. Most importantly, there's a book I read very recently that has left a mark on me, let's just say. So perhaps if you guys are into book talk, I would love to make an episode talking about certain books, specific books. But for now, that's all I wish to discuss on this episode. I will be talking a lot more about a bunch of other things I've been up to, and I have a few ideas for the upcoming episodes, so stay tuned. And lastly, I just want to say, even though I've said this before, thank you so much for listening. I really, really enjoy making this episode, and It's been hard to make this podcast in the past few months. Like I said, I've been going through a lot, dealing with a lot, and haven't had a lot of mental clarity, emotional clarity, and just physical energy. But now that I am slowly but surely getting into a more, nav zone where everything is sunshine and rainbows and I'm full of fucking energy and chaotic and erratic, it's nice to be motivated, and it's nice to have the energy and the excitement I feel when I stare down the barrel at my laptop's camera while making these episodes. And I just want to say thank you so much for listening and allowing me to keep making these episodes for all one of you. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone, play the fucking video game Stardew Valley, tell others to play that game, and enjoy the reset that it is this springtime. I hope you get to touch some grass and then you get to come out of that cold hibernation mode that this past winter was. I'll be back soon. And I promise this time, I will be back next week. No more disappearing acts. Anyways, go enjoy sunshine or pretend to enjoy some sunshine. And do yourself a favor, go hit the fucking gym, alright? Trust me. It is very therapeutic. I'll see you later. Hasta la vista. Bye-bye.